Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I posted, but I'm finally back to building more houses for you guys. Today I felt like building a more simple modern mansion that is a lot more smaller than what I'm used to building, but this house is still really spacious and it still has about like 4 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms, along with a gym, a pool, and a simple bar in the garden of the house, which I felt like it was more than enough for a house like this. And before I built this, and like pretty much every other like house that I built, I always like look at inspiration because I feel like it helps me with creating things that I wouldn't usually do. Like in this case, how that swimming pool has like such a weird shape, but like the inspiration picture was showing me how they use different parts of the pool's shape to like make like stairs going down into the swimming pool, and like a jacuzzi area on one of the sides, as well as like that curved bit of the swimming pool. It looks really nice in the inspiration picture. So like if I was not to look at like an inspiration picture, I probably wouldn't have made that part curved, if that makes sense. And yeah, and since I really like houses with like huge gardens and detailed exteriors, that's the main reason why I look at inspiration, because like building a huge house like this every single time, it's kind of difficult to come up with like unique ideas. So when I look at like inspiration, I could see like the different color schemes they use and like different textures and materials that they use on the exterior of the builds, which is like my most favorite part of like building a house. Like I really like the way the exterior comes about. And yeah, which is also kind of another reason why I build in Del Sol Valley, because it's like the most fitting for the type of houses that I build. It's more like luxury based, and it's very like oversized, and it's more like it's very much Bel-Air inspired, where like it looks out towards the city, which is why I always build in Del Sol Valley. But if I was to build like a different type of house, I'll probably end up building like in other worlds as well. So like if I was to start building like coffee shops or like a hotel or something, I'll probably not build it here. But yeah, this is just like my favorite places to build in The Sims. Like Del Sol Valley is really my favorite, probably pack when it comes to the world, even though I feel like nobody really likes Get Famous because they feel like it's not replayable. But like for me as a builder who pretty much just builds, I don't really play The Sims the way it's like kind of intended. I kind of just build, but like the way I do it is perfect for me. Like Del Sol Valley is like a great place for builders in my opinion. And the 64 by 64 lot is just so nice. This build specifically is on it's the second lot on the hill. It's not the biggest lot, which I felt like, I've been gone for a while and I wanted to like post a nice house as soon as possible, but not make it too big, as well as like not going so small. So I felt like this was like the perfect size to build for now. And yeah, so far the exterior of the house is finished, even though the inspiration picture was showing the back of the house, and usually when they show the back, the front is never that nice. Like even if I was to see the front of the picture from the inspired picture, if that makes sense, they always like the house is always on a hill, which is what I tried to do here. And because it's on a hill, it looks like the front of the house is like one level, and like the bottom bit of the house, like when it goes downstairs or upstairs, it doesn't really show that. So it was kind of like difficult to make that happen in The Sims as well. I don't know if anything that I just said made sense, but yeah, like most of their houses are like on a hill, so it's like hard to like replicate that in The Sims. But I try my best with like adding a bit of terrain here and there. But at the same time, I don't know if it executed well, because terrain in The Sims, like it just doesn't work properly. Like even when you try to place stuff on the terrain, it never like sits perfectly. Like I tried to add a lot of like plants and stuff. Well, not a lot to be honest on this house. I didn't really want to add a lot of like plants and stuff around the house, because you know, performance issues, like you don't want your house to be really laggy when you're playing it. So like, even though I don't play Sims in the sense that like I make a bunch of families and then play in these houses, I still think about like if it's actually playable or not. So while taking that into mind, I don't want to like add a lot of plants everywhere. So instead what I did was I used like very limited plants around like the terrain, and I used what was it called? The tool mod, yeah. I use a tool mod to lower the plants down into the terrain, because there's just no way that you can like put plants down on a terrain and call it a day. Like, I don't know how normal people who do not use the terrain tool, especially console players who can't even access like mods or CC, like I don't know how they place plants on terrain, because I feel like it never works out well. Like, it just doesn't look good. It always like floats above the terrain, which I don't know if that's a bug or not, but it's really annoying. I feel like that should be fixed. But yeah, so the stairs in this house going up to the second floor is in such a weird position, and that eventually moves because the place where the stairs is right now is where the dining table is supposed to be, and you can't place a dining table, or you could place a dining table under the stairs, but I just feel like it wouldn't look that great, and it will be very squished, because like there's only like one tile around the stairs that the Sims can move around, and if I add like decoration or like plants and flowers everywhere, your Sims wouldn't be able to move there, like around it. So I felt like the front of the house changes a lot in terms of like the shape, so that I could fit the stairs in. The windows that I saw in this house from like the inspiration had like really dark, like tinted windows. I'm not sure if it was actually tinted or if it was because of like shadows and reflections or whatnot, but yeah, like the glass was like dark like that, and the way it looks like right now is perfect, like with the dark glass, but I ended up changing it because it just didn't look that nice. Adding the exterior furniture, and I kept this very simple as well. I didn't really add a lot of details on the exterior in terms of like furniture, because I don't think it was that necessary. I wanted to make everything matching as well, so I used furniture that had color swatches that all like matched well together. I was going for like this nice grey color, and there was also a nice seating area in the garden area of this house, and I felt like it was a nice, it complemented the bar nicely, and I went with like a very simple color scheme. It was just like a black, white, grey. I tried to make sure I did that like throughout the entire exterior of the house, so like most of the furniture that you see outside of the house matched well, because I don't know, I don't really like using a lot of color. And when I was doing this, I noticed how like I struggled finding like appropriate coffee tables for the outside. Like, I feel like there's only like a very limited amount of coffee tables that work well when you're doing like TV or like lounge areas for the exterior, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. And I wanted to add something interesting on the near the pool, where it was like an L-shaped sofa, and I'm using these like small like individual pieces, and then I use like I don't even know what it's called. It's like one of those vent like thingies where like you can like size it down, and I covered basically the blue legs of each of the sofa pieces, and now it just looks so much more better. Like, if they just had like a simple black and white swatch on that little individual sofa piece, I feel like it will look so great. And that coffee table was also so huge compared to like, even though this was like a normal individual sofa piece, that coffee table was huge. So like I used a tool mod and I lowered it down, which I don't think affects gameplay, I'm not sure. but I doubt it does. Like, I don't think it should have an impact. Worst case scenario, probably like coffee mugs would like hover above the table, but I don't think so, as I didn't size it down. I just lowered it using the tool mod. And yeah, I really do like the way that sofa thing looks, especially with like the black around like the legs. It's covering it up and stuff. It looks really nice. And I think I did that on the upstairs as well, like where the stairs part is. And moving on to the interior, I also took some inspiration from the actual house that I was inspired by when building this building. And there was like a lot of grey, like not appliances, but like the interior was very much white and brown. So I don't usually use brown in any of my builds. I don't know, I just like, this is probably like the most brown I'll ever use in a build, like, but it did turn out great, so like, you know, I can't really complain. The kitchen turned out amazing. Like, when I saw the inspiration picture, I was like, whoa, like this is a huge kitchen. And like they had like a whole wall and it had like rows and rows and rows of cupboards, so it was like seamless. And they had their like fridges within the cupboards, but because I can't really put the fridge inside of the cupboard, so instead I had like a butler's kitchen area, or like a pantry, if you would want to, you know, call it that. And I put like the fridges there, so kitchen still looks really seamless. Like, everything is functional in that kitchen, and there's like an extra room where you can go to like access the fridge. And when your Sims are like cooking and stuff, it will create less mess in the actual kitchen, which is kind of like the same objective of having like a butler's kitchen in real life, so that your main kitchen is not, you know, as messy. And yeah, moving on to the bottom level master's bedroom, I decided to put the master's bedroom on the bottom floor. I mean, this can also be like count as like a guest bedroom, as there's also another huge bedroom upstairs which has like its own walk-in closet as well as its own ensuite. This one only has its own ensuite. The walk-in wardrobe, the only wardrobe I used for this building, for this room, was the one that like goes into the wall, and that's pretty much it. They don't have anything that they can like actually walk into. There's no individual walls. And I saw, like, not just in the house that I was inspired by, but like several other houses where like they have these very interesting like wall light fixtures, and I wanted to replicate something like that. So I used that really thin piece of, I don't know what it is, I think it's like a metal thin piece, it's like a wall decor, and then I added like light strips across and below it, and I feel like that turned out great. I feel like I could replicate that in so many bedrooms and stuff like that. And I do use these light strips pretty much everywhere. Like, and yeah, this is the bathroom of the master bedroom that's downstairs. I kept it really simple. This bathroom also leads out to like a front, it's not a front yard, but like it's like a front mini balcony garden sort of thing. It doesn't really hang anywhere, there's nothing, it's just like a little enclosed area that like they can like walk out to. I didn't even put anything there. Like, I should have just put like a little seating area or something like that, I'm not sure. You could put like plants and stuff there if you wanted to. And moving on to the upstairs, you could see how like I changed the way the stairs looked, because I was just like, there's no way I can have stairs that like covers the entire corridor of like the bottom floor. It just didn't look that great. And even if I did keep it like that, I would have had to relocate the dining table, which I didn't want to do. And yeah, I just use very simple interiors. So like I stuck with like minimal colors, very simple. I actually really like the way this bedroom turned out. Like, it's very simple, but like the color scheme is also very nice. Like, it's like a very light wood tone throughout like the entire room from this place, and I wanted to make sure like everything matched. So like I like my bedrooms when they match, like when everything matches, which is exactly what I did. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, like every single bedroom had like its own ensuite, which I feel like is, you know, appropriate for a house this size. I also wanted to include like a little gym in this build. I don't know, I just wanted like more activities for a huge house like this. You know, you would expect it to have certain features that a normal house wouldn't have. And I'm back to creating my typical bedrooms where I place the thin kitchen units on the side of the bed to act like it's like a nightstand. I don't know if it executes well or not, but I just really like doing that. So, you know, I'm just gonna continue doing it the way I do. And yeah, this is the walking wardrobe that I was mentioning. It's pretty small, but like, you know, it serves its purpose, it's fine. And I also made like a little, I made like a mirrored bathroom here. It was like a his and hers, where like it was basically the exact same thing, but like on the opposite side. I don't know, I see this a lot with like really expensive houses, so I wanted to replicate that. And yeah, I'm just trying to find like a nice picture to hang on right in the middle. Yeah, I feel like I didn't want anything too exaggerated, so I put this like very simple one. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this build. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this build, and I hope you guys are excited to see my future builds. And yeah, here we go, are the screenshots. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, you can download it on the gallery. My name is just Tanzerr the way it's spelled on YouTube, with another R at the end. And yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye.